There is a woman who lives across the street from my house with her daughter. The girl looks no older than 7, though she should be 12 or 13, but due to malnourishment and constant abuse from her mother, she looks sick and fragile. I hate the woman. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. What's happened? Because of how she treats her daughter. That morning, I watched it happen again as I drove to the office. She was beating her daughter again, blaming her for the father who left, just like my own mother blamed me. I sat in my car and cried. I was shaking by the time I reached work. I couldn't concentrate at work. Even when Nancy called me a psycho, I kept smiling at her while she cursed me. I didn't feel hurt by her insult. I was only thinking about how to help the poor girl. After work, while driving home, I saw a small figure sitting a little farther down the road leading to my estate gate, sobbing openly. Everywhere was dark and lonely. At first, I wanted to ignore her and drive off, but I took a second look. It was the poor child. I quickly got out of my car and sat with her. Between sobs, she told me she was hungry. I ran to my car and brought out snacks. Her eyes lit up, so I invited her in with the promise of more food. She followed me to my car and I drove her to my house. Ha! After eating, she wanted to leave, but I wouldn't let her. I was going to save her from her bad mother, so I drugged her drink and she fell asleep. Ah! The next day, she woke up crying and screaming. I couldn't understand why. I was trying to help her. Do you prefer your wicked mother to my kindness? I locked her in the spare room and tied her up after forcing her to eat. I planned to return during my break to take her to the bathroom and feed her again, whether she liked it or not. Wait. Hold up. What's going on here? I was super excited at work. Finally, I was doing something good for someone. I couldn't wait to tell my mommy and prove her wrong. She always said I was good for nothing and would amount to nothing good like my father. But now I'm a superhero to a poor child. I drove home early and untied her so she can use the bathroom. Instead, the ungrateful spoiled brat bounced on me and tried to escape. You know, Nancy that called you a psycho did not do mistake. I overpowered her easily. Poor malnourished child. I covered her mouth to stop her from screaming. After a few minutes, she stopped fighting and stayed still. I laid her on the bed and tried to force feed her, but she wouldn't even open her eyes or move. She's not hungry, so I bind her mouth and her hands and leave. Hey, I have to punish her so she won't fight me again. So I stayed away from my house for 2 days. Hey, whoa. This will teach her not to reject my food again. Driving into the estate, I see her mother crying and being comforted by other women. I can already guess why she is shedding crocodile tears publicly. I park and walk closer and overhear the neighbors talking about how a child saw the girl following a man into his car and driving away. I smile and get back into my car. I can't wait to tell the poor child everything her mother is doing to seek attention. As soon as I entered the house, a strong smell hit me. Hey! I opened the door to her room. She's still lying exactly as I left her and smelling. I have to bathe her, but I feed her first. So I open her mouth and force the food down. It doesn't work. Her body is cold and stiff. Maybe she misses her mother, that's why she is not talking, eating or moving again. Wait till I just read, guys. Alright, I'll bring her mother next and reunite them so she will be happy and maybe start eating again since that's what she wants. I get up and take her to the bathroom and wash her cold and stiff body just like I washed my mother's own after she called me a monster. And I covered her mouth and she stood and she too stopped talking and moving and started smelling. Eey. It's time I showed her to my mother in the other room where I have kept her hidden all these years. Maybe if my mother sees her, she'll open her eyes again, start talking, and maybe even eat so she won't look like a skeleton. Ah, it will have to be tomorrow. I'm tired from carrying, bathing, and feeding someone. Hey, I'm tired of carrying, bathing, and feeding people who wouldn't do anything for themselves. Maybe I'll help Nancy too. God knows the trauma she went through to be so hostile and mean to me and others. I can't wait to save everyone. Hey Jay, How did Nancy even escape all of this? Nancy will call you psychopath. Don't do mistake, guys. TikTok has been restricting me from posting lately. They have been shadow banning my videos. So I'm going to be tagging my backup account below. Please, this is the only thing I ask you to do for me this December. Click and follow the account. Thank you so much.